Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2. So this is going to be my review for episode 13, otherwise entitled The Land of the Lost. So before we go ahead, there will be spoilers within this review, so if you have not watched the episode yet, you might want to go watch it, then come back to this video later on. So this episode basically kicks off from the end of last episode after Rip Hunter, the evil Rip Hunter, was captured during the times of Camelot. And let's just say the fact that they brought him on the ship when he's pretty familiar with the goings on and the running of the ship, it's going to lead to some mayhem in this episode. And obviously that just kicks off straight at the beginning of the episode when Rip gains control back of Gideon using some like secret code words. But really, was there any surprise there? I think even in my review from 2 weeks back, because Legends went on break for a week, I did say, I was like, did no one think about this? Like Rip, getting consciousness back and Gideon possibly going back to him because he might say some things. So yeah, I wasn't surprised that he got control of the ship back. But one thing I was very, very surprised with was when Rip Hunter, once again the evil Rip Hunter, destroyed the medallion, so the last Spear of Destiny piece could not be found. That's obviously because the Legion already knew where it was, and the only people that needed the medallion to find it were of course the Legends, so Rip, destroyed it. They don't really need it anymore. But obviously, as I said, Rip used those code words, which led to the Wave Rider getting a bit dodgy, and it actually ends up with the Legends landing 70 million years in the past. I can't remember the exact year, I didn't write it down, but it's in the Cretaceous period. But we do know it was the same time that Ray was stranded at the beginning of the season, so Ray is pretty familiar with the area and the goings-on in this period. One of the cool sequences in this episode, it wasn't the most interesting because I guess you could argue that it maybe dragged on a bit too much, but they needed to fill up time in this episode. But it really was a cool sequence, was when Sarah and Jax went into Rip's mind via cognitive intrusion, I think they called it. So we saw some pretty cool things like Vandal Savage's soldiers from season 1 obviously. And then we even had like evil versions of the Legends. So I think we saw evil versions of Sarah, Mick, Ray and Jax, or Firestorm might I say. But Sarah calls them Bizarro versions, hint hint. But I did think the concept of it was really cool. And I think for 80% of it I was really enjoying it. There were just some bits where it dragged on. I did like Ray's house in the Cretaceous period, just thought it was just something Ray would do. Even the dolls of all the Legends, how like Mick Rory had an egg for a head, I just thought that was hilarious. I'll tell you one thing that was extremely random, and that was seeing the physical form of Gideon. I was like, okay. At first I thought it was Vixen, like when she was in the shadows, I thought it was Vixen just with Gideon's voice. But yeah, and that's actually the actress that voices Gideon as well. Like they didn't put a random actress there and then had the lady who does Gideon's voice just dubbed over the top. That's actually her. I think her name is Amy Pemberton or Penderton, one of the two. But yeah, another thing I wasn't really surprised with was that Sarah had the hots for her. I was waiting for the line. I was like, if Gideon meets Sarah, I bet there's a line where Sarah says that she has the hots for her. And yeah, that's what happened. Now, Mari is brought back up, who is the Vixen that we met in Arrow Season 4. Now, Ray obviously needs Nate to stop canoodling with Amaya to not prevent her future, that being Mari's future, because certain things are meant to happen, which lead to Mari becoming Vixen and being a hero in Detroit and all the events in Season 4. So, Nate needs to step off a bit. Now, one thing I was waiting for the whole episode, since it was like set up towards the beginning when they first get into the Cretaceous period, was the encounter with Gertrude, the T-Rex. And it was great. Now, I thought it was really cool. I thought the effects were really good on the T-Rex. We did see her earlier this season, obviously, when we went back to meet Ray after he was stranded. But it was interesting to see Amaya use her powers to calm Gertrude down. So yeah, Amaya's powers can be pretty overpowered if she wants them to be. Another really big random thing, we did see a bit of it in the trailer, but I wasn't too sure what it was, but we saw Rip Hunter with basically superpowers. So, well, it is Rip's mind, I guess. In your mind, you can do anything. I could have wings in my mind. I could be 8 foot tall with wings. Who knows what I'd do in my mind, but yeah, that's what Rip decided he wanted to do in his. Sort of looked like he had air bending or something like that, sort of weird. But finally, in this episode, we get the good Rip Hunter. He is finally back. No more evil Rip Hunter. Even though, and some of you might know this because I've said it in some videos, I actually really do like the evil Rip Hunter. I think the actor Arthur Darvill, plays a really good villain. I think the evil Rip Hunter is a better version of good Rip Hunter, But it's good to see good Rip Hunter back because he's needed to solve this Spear of Destiny thing. If he was still with the Legion, I think it'd be a bit too overpowered on that side. So it's good to have him back, and then we can move on and try and sort out the big issue for this season of Legends. And I like when Legends does this, they set up the next episode with like a quick 1 or 2 minute thing at the end of the previous episode, and they do it in this episode as well. When we go to NASA in the 1970s, and Eobard Thawne, or the Reverse Flash, is a doctor testing astronauts. That dude he was testing is probably going to die, and someone's going to take up his persona. But yeah, I think next episode, I think Ray or something gets on this, and they actually go to the moon. I think they go to the moon, or it's like a mission to orbit the moon. One of the two, but it's going to be a crazy Legends episode. I will do a trailer breakdown for that episode in the next couple of days. So it's Legends, it's crazy, it's always like that. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. It wasn't like the greatest episode of Legends. There was a lot of setup and just solving certain things out so we can move on to those last couple or few episodes, might I say, of this season. You know, just sorting out the Rip Hunter issue. And then that's basically it. It was basically just to sort the Rip Hunter issue out. But then we got the setup for next episode, which is going to be more in depth, you would have to think, in regards to like the entirety of the season. But I still enjoyed it. Funny bits with Ray and Nate, or mainly Ray and Nate, but Amaya had to be there, I guess, for it all to work. If I had to choose a favourite part, just everything involving Ray and Nate when they were outside in the Cretaceous period, thought that was great. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below what was your favourite part of the episode. Are you happy to see the good Rip Hunter back in action for the Legends? And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.